Strickland shocked the world, man. Did you watch the fight last night? Did you see first round? I thought Adesanya was out. I mean, I can't believe he came back from that round. But then he was backing up all the way. They said going into the fifth round, he had to knock him out to win, and he just didn't bring it. I thought he had a really bad fight. His face was all blown up. And Sean Strickland, who was not even supposed to be, give it a shot. He'd been 2-2 his last 4 fights, like an everyman. What did he say? He said, "I've given more brain cells to the UFC than I know." You know, I mean, this is a guy who, like, you know, I mean, he said he's fought. He's got his ass kicked. He's won fights. He said if he wasn't fighting, he'd be in prison. He grew up in a bad situation. And he's a success story. I mean, hey, Lon has joined us. We're watching Red Zone. But the fight it was great. It was great. It was great to see. I don't think the fight was great per se, but to see Sean Strickland give it a shot and then take advantage. And his corner guy was saying, "Come on, we don't want a bullshit decision. We want you to win this goddamn game. Let's make it happen. Let's get it done." And I was like, all right. He came. He saw it, kick some ass. I mean, a lot of awesome things. Texas is back. The U blew out Texas A&M. UNC won in overtime over Appalachian State. And everybody's like, you know, now Drake May's not quarterback too. You know what? One guy said the best thing. They said, "Who's your top 10?" Too early after 2 weeks to decide our top 10. It's too early. And yes, Lon, it is happy new football year. And what I see, Calvin Ridley, who sat out all last season, had a touchdown catch for the Jags. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, and think about this. The Jets and Giants are opening up in prime time. They're both home. They're both dogs. They're both underdogs in their games. You got the Giants tonight. I didn't know this, but Dak Prescott is 10-0 when he starts for the Cowboys against the Giants. That means the streak has to end now. He has started 8 straight openers, the most among active players. And this is 8 straight start on opening day, where the Colts have had 7 different quarterbacks start in the last 7 years. And you have a record 14 black quarterbacks starting opening day this year, NFL Week 1. I mean, I saw Justin Jefferson make a catch. Michael Thomas back from the dead. So today we did the Susan J. Komen walk for breast cancer. Poured. And you can either do 1.75 miles, you can do 3.5. So I ran it. Michigan ran and said go. And we got destroyed in the rain. Destroyed. But then there's a Bread's Bakery, and they make a challah bread, which is amazing. But I decided, we're in there, and this lady goes, "Hey, we got this thing. It's an apple challah." I go, "What?" And it's this. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, you could charge me $300, I'd take it. So we got that. And all the stuff I like. They have this Jerusalem bagel. Michigan was like, eh. Got a pretzel, very good. But the stuff, she was like, eh. But we walked home in the pouring rain. Now, I have these boots from Solomon that I wear all the time. And someone taught me, I think it was my mom, she said you have to stuff it with newspapers. And then when you keep replacing and it soaks up all the water and it gets out and you don't have mildew in the shoes. So I was like, all right, I'll do that. And I was like, okay, good. Yeah, DJ Moore just had a big catch for the Cardinals and I'm sorry, I almost said the Redskins. The Commanders were playing for their first. They have a sold-out home opener, which hasn't happened in a while. Well, you got rid of Dan Snyder, and what I see that Brian Robinson had a touchdown on the first play. Yeah, it's good, man. Josh Dobbs is starting for the Cardinals. You got Jonathan Gannon there's a coach. A lot of things happening. I mean, Coco Gauff won in 3 sets. Lost the first set, won the last 2. Sabalenka had come in to the U.S. Open final and lost 1 set. And then it was 4-1 in the 3rd set, and Sabalenka decided she needed a court doctor. She needed a doctor to get a massage down 4-1. And I was like, Michigan was not happy. She thought that was a crock of shit. And I was like, really? Now 4-1 all of a sudden she's cramping up so bad that she's got to get that done? I was like, that's bullshit. But Coco held on. She is now 3 in the world in singles and 1 in doubles. And there's a video they posted of her as a little kid. Federer everybody gave her props. And then at the awards, Sabalenka said, you could have been this way when I was playing. Sabalenka, you're playing in the goddamn U.S. Open. In the U.S. What do you expect? You think they're going to be like, oh, yeah, Sabalenka, oh, we're going to root for you. Somebody from Belarus. Or they're going to root for a homegrown American woman who is the first teenager since Serena to win a U.S. Open as a teenager, and Coco, a lot of pressure on her, and she came through. She got it done. She played great, and it drives Michigan crazy because I get Twitter feeds before I get Twitter feed before the results we get on our TV, and she's like, "God damn it!" So we watched that. We watched a lot of shit. Yes, we watched some tennis. We watched Michigan blow out UNLV 35-7. I saw the end of the UNC game. Deion Sanders, goddamn, what was it, 0-0, then they 36-14, it was a blowout. And Shadur Sanders had 393, 2 touchdowns. Wheatley, one of his receivers, had a $170. Travis Hunter had 3 catches for 73 yards, plus he had four tackles and a pass defense. I think he played 125 snaps this week, but they're 2-0. And the last team to win one game and win their first 2 games of Power 5 was the 2018 Baylor Bears. In Matt Rule's second year in Baylor, they went 7-6, 7-6, and they won a bowl game, 45-38, the Texas Bowl over Vanderbilt. So that's a good sign. So last year they won one game. They've already won their first 2 games. They had host Colorado State. Then they go to Oregon. Oregon scored 81 at Portland State last week. I was watching. They were losing to Texas Tech and scored 20 points in the fourth quarter. Ended up beating Texas Tech 38-30. I think they were down 20-18 at the end of, and they came back. And at one point, the Pac-12 was 18-0, but then Arizona lost in overtime to Mississippi State, where the quarterback had a 4th down play, ran it for a first down. I thought his knee went down before. I thought it was a good call. He didn't get it. They lost in overtime. And then Arizona State lost to Who did they play last night? Oh, they played Oklahoma State, who had 0 yards rushing in the first half, but they ended up losing Oklahoma State. But I saw that Rashada kid, the kid who was supposed to go to Florida for like $14 million. He looked good. I saw him play the first half. So I watched some of that. I saw Hawaii beat Albany. Albany traveled across the country. And Kirk Cousins just got sacked and lost the ball. And they said, what's he made, $230 million? They said he's up for a big pay raise. But this is it, I think, in Minnesota. And Tampa Bay is playing, they got Baker Mayfield. They came from, that's the first game of the season, but shit. And man, Joe Burrow shows up from a scene from Miami Vice. He's got a white shirt on under a jacket with a gold chain sticking out. They're 0-0. Cleveland, I saw, had a fumble. Jags are 7-7 against the Colts. A lot of good games. Yeah, a lot of good games today, man. A lot of good games today. Yeah, and I saw Gumbo Chef Friday night. That was nice. I did a podcast yesterday. I did a podcast yesterday, too. Yeah, that was good. Rutgers 36-7 over Temple. They got a win yesterday. Hey, listen, it was, teams are looking good. Yeah, 14 black quarterbacks now. Patrick Mahomes, Chiefs, Jalen Hurts, Eagles, Lamar Jackson, Ravens, Dak Prescott, Cowboys, Deshaun Watson, Cleveland, Russell Wilson, Denver, Geno Smith, Seattle, Desmond Ridder, Atlanta, Joshua Dobbs, Arizona, Justin Fields is Chicago, Jordan Love, Green Bay. Matt LaFleur, the Green Bay coach, is 8-0 against the Bears. Bryce Young threw an interception, I saw, for the Panthers, C.J. Stroud for Texans, and Anthony Richardson for the Colts. Yes. He's the middle, and Sean Strickland is the middleweight champ. And Andreas Hale said that Eric Nixick was incredible in Strickland's corner. Stellar job for one of the biggest upsets. Yeah. And Adesanya did not bail the presser to be with his loved ones, but he was a class act afterwards. Adesanya's face was all blown up. You could see he took a lot of shots, and he told the crowd to pray, to cheer for Strickland, which they did. Strickland's a tough guy, man. Michigan couldn't stop staring at one of his ears. One of his ears looks totally destroyed. So he's going to go against Dricus Duplessis, who was supposed to get the fight, but then was injured. That's why Strickland got the fight. So we'll see how that goes. And Adesanya, someone's saying he could fight the winner of Chimaev versus Paulo Costa. I guess we'll see how that goes. And going to Matt Serra. So Matt Serra beat St. Pierre, who, the guy, George St. Pierre, at UFC welterweight championship by TKO in the first round at UFC 69. Think about that. UFC 69. Did Brandon Ayuk has 2 touchdown catches today? 2 touchdown catches. They're up 16-0 on the Steelers. Brock Purdy looks like he didn't miss any time off at all. And he won it by TKO in the first round. They said that was considered the biggest upset, and they put the fight last night up there with that. So we'll see what happens going forward. Yeah. And I talked about Sanders had a good game. You know, he felt that Matt Rule, Shadur Sanders felt that Nebraska, and Matt Rule, they disrespected his dad and the team or whatever. But listen, Xavier Weaver, 10 catches, $170, a touchdown. Now this is the thing: Nebraska had 8 sacks and 11 tackles for loss. Buffs got 2 sacks, 6 tackles for loss. Yeah, and Deion Sanders was interviewed at halftime. One of his bodyguards had a shirt on that had a stick figure that was like having sex, and the shirt basically read, "Fuck around and find out." Yeah, basically, yeah. Fuck around and find out. I mean, I was like, I'm not taking a chance. Oh, wow. Ball got tipped out of the hands of a Jaguars receiver and ricocheted in the hands, but there's a flag in the play, and Jaguars are coming back. Wow. Tipped out of his hands. God damn. I think was that Etienne? Yes, I think that was Etienne. Wow. Good play. And no, it was not touched, rolled over. Brown rolled over, and they got the ball back. Wow. Jesus. Yeah. Fuck around and find out. The stick figure imagery. Yeah, that was crazy. And they've won 3 straight now over Nebraska, and they're 2-0. And the crowd was crazy. There was a lot of Nebraska fans there last night. A lot of Nebraska fans. So it was packed. Yeah, I don't expect to see Josh here today. Yeah. I figured everybody's watching football, but I want to do a quick show. Texas, first road win over a top 3 since December 6, 1969. That year, they beat number 2 Arkansas at Arkansas 15-14. That year, they won the national championship 21-17 over Notre Dame in the Cotton Bowl with Darrell Royals as the head coach. That's a good omen going for. And I thought Quinn Ewers played pretty well. You know, the defense, I think they had missed a lot of opportunities, but then they came back, had some great play. They double figures. They haven't lost. I mean, it was 34-24. Fans were leaving early. Jalen Milroe had some nice plays, but I thought he looked on throw, the easy throws that seem to miss his targets. They don't have a great running team right now, so yeah, you know, what was I gonna say? I mean, Texas, man. I mean, yeah, wow. I mean, and Vince Young said, "Enjoy the moment tonight, and then get your ass back to work." I agree with that. They get pressure on Milroe, delivered big plays offensively. And it was their first trip to Tuscaloosa since 1902. It was their first AP top 3 win in 15 years. First AP road win, as I said, since 69. Gave Bama their first non-conference regular season loss in 16 years, and his first double-digit loss for Saban in college football in 20 years. 20 years. And what did I see? They've been 50. I think that's what Sarkisian said. 52-1. Their last. They came in 51-1, 50-1, 51-1. Their last 52 games, they've been playing some really good football. And Texas came and kicked their asses. Yeah, Coco got the win. Congrats to her. She lost to Sabalenka at Indian Wells. She figured out her Sabalenka's forehand, and she came back third set, got it done. First American teenager to win since Serena Williams in '99. That's awesome. I love that stuff. USA lost to Canada today at the FIBA World Cup, but you know what sent into overtime? Mikal Bridges, missed he made the first one, missed the second free throw, got the rebound, had the wherewithal, got out to the 3-point line, hit a 3-pointer, and sent it to overtime. But Dylan Brooks at 39 lost 127-118. They didn't medal at this, and that's what they said. They did a good job of the team, but they put some guys in positions, I guess, giving them more play time or whatever that shouldn't. Well, yeah, they had a lot of guys that were role players or bench guys that were starting on the World Championship team, and it came back and they didn't medal. And that, to me, yeah, you got to medal. And I know the other teams are getting better. And what did I see? Germany, Dennis Schroeder had 28 points, 83-77. They beat Serbia for the gold. And it's 44 days until the NBA season starts. Yeah, crazy, right? That is bananas. Yeah, now I hear Jerry Judy's going to practice to see if he'll play today against the Raiders. Yeah, so Dak Prescott's won his last 10 in a row. Crazy, right? Isn't that crazy? Jets supposedly reached out about Stafford before they went after Aaron Rodgers. Thank God. Thank God they went with Stafford. I was like, oh my God. UNC, Omarion Hampton against App State had 26 rushes, 234 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Drake made 21 to 32, 8, no touchdowns, but 11 of 57 on the ground, and he did a Jordan-like layup as he went in for the touchdown. And they won in overtime. Hey, they got to win the 2-0. First overtime win in the last 7 games. Thank God. And then right before the end of the game, at the end of regulation, App State jumped offside, gave an extra play. They iced the kicker. He misses the kick terribly for UNC. Then they give a second kick. He kicks it exactly the same to send overtime. I'm like, dude, you got to make these kicks. But he didn't, and that was that. And they got the win. I mean, App State. So Coach Sean Clark get $20,000 bonus for playing a guaranteed game at a home stadium of a Power 5 school, and they got $850,000 for the game. This is the third in the 3-game series. 2019 App State won 34-31. At UNC last year, UNC won at App State 63-61, despite Appalachian State scoring 40 in the fourth quarter. That's crazy. SEC is now 2-6 in non-conference Power 5 games this season. Utah over Florida. Yeah, which Tennessee over UVA, UNC over South Carolina, FSU over LSU, Miami over AM, Texas over Bama, Wake over Vandy, and State over Arizona. I guess I don't know who went against Arizona. Oh, Mississippi State. And Auburn beat, so Auburn, now they're 3-6 because Auburn beat Cal 14-10. Yeah, and this guy, Foker, what's his name? Waxman? My top 10 after tonight. Pointless to rank teams this early in the season. He said, end of September, rankings don't count until November anyway. Yeah, Texas scored 21 in the fourth. Texas Tech gave up 20 in the fourth Texas Tech gave up 20 in the fourth to Oregon, and Jerkovich, who played at BC, was Pittsburgh's quarterback, went 10 for 32 for 179 yards, lost 27-21, and next week they get the backyard brawl against West Virginia, Pittsburgh, 7:30 on ABC. Yeah, oof. And Bama's non-conference home win streak ends at 43. For first AP Texas's first AP top 3 win since 2008 over #1 Oklahoma. 21 home game win streak over. 57 game regular season non-conference win streak over. So it's wow. Last loss was 2007 versus UL Monroe, and last loss to Texas 1982. 50-1 in the last 51 home games, Alabama. I thought it was something like that. So now they're 50-2. Wow. Yeah, Dallas Turner had a hell of a play on Jatavion Sanders for Alabama. He made a hell of a play. I think I just saw that Sam Howell threw an interception. It's still early. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see about Milroe. You know, he's really playing his first game. I mean, he filled in, but this is him as the quarterback. And Quinn Ewers, listen, he threw some beautiful balls. Yeah, Lankers said that Jalen Milroe looked timid all game, constantly leaving the pocket and running. Wasn't impressive than last season when he filled in. Bama ain't doing it this year. They just don't look good. I don't disagree with that. I do not disagree with that. And with Bama's loss to Texas, this is the first time since 2014 that Auburn's first loss came after Alabama, which came at night. Tide lost to Ole Miss in Week 6 that year, and Auburn lost next week to Mississippi State. They both lost on the same day in 2015, but Auburn played in the afternoon and Alabama night, so it switched. Thank you, Josh Dubois. And Mike Palucci said this. He said that Texas does indeed look back, which naturally means they'll be losing by 9 in Iowa City in November. I thought that was kind of funny. And Utah beat Baylor. There was a pass interference last play. I don't know how they didn't call it. And Florida Sportsman says the refs not calling that pass interference on Utah at the end of the Baylor game is the worst thing to ever happen in Waco. He was making fun of, like, worse than Koresh. And he tries to be funny sometimes, my comic guy. And sometimes he's funny, sometimes he's not. And, you know, I'm going to give him props on that one. I thought it was kind of funny. You know, I mean, I thought, hey, they're going all crazy because Art Briles, you know, at all the sexual harassment shit happening when his students were accused of raping students as football players at Baylor when he was there. Well, his son-in-law is the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma. So after the game, he was down the field wearing Bryles was wearing all Oklahoma stuff, and everybody's like, "Why is he on the field?" Whatever. And he said, "That's the grandfather of my two kids. We were taking a family picture." It wasn't like he was doing. It was after the game was over. But I guess people were all pissed off. You can't have these people around. It's anathema. You can't. I mean, it's just bad juju to have these guys around. I was like, all right. I mean, he's not coaching the team. He was just coming to see his grandkids. I mean, he was the coach. I mean, he was in charge of the program, but it wasn't like, I mean, listen, you coach the kids and you hope for the best, and kids do bad shit. And if it happens to your watch, you pay for it. And it's like, you can never look. I mean, Paterno. I mean, it's the Schembechler stuff happened when he was in the pro with that doctor, and it went on for years. I mean, bad shit happens, but the coach has to know what's going on. And I agree that it's a bad thing. And he had taken the Grambling offensive coordinator job a couple years ago and got fired within a couple weeks. And there's a new football league. Suppose he's going to coach there, but he was a high school football legend before he started coaching in college. And wow, that was wide open. Addison scored. Justin's got to be happy. Jordan Addison with his first NFL touchdown, the wide receiver out of USC. That was a beautiful pass by Kirk Cousins. Beautiful. And there's a flag. Uh-oh. Oh, on the defense? I don't know. Something. Decline. Jordan Addison, first NFL career touchdown. Yeah. Just be careful when you're driving, dude. I know you had a pet emergency, but what were we doing, 160 miles an hour in your Lamborghini? Well, now he's got his first NFL touchdown, and he's living the dream. That'll be put somewhere, but yeah, I remember that. I saw that was kind of crazy. Now, Joe Klatz is an alum of Colorado. He said, overachieve. It says they all got Michael Strahan suits that said believe inside of them. Yeah, you know what? That's the thing. Maybe they are overachieving right now, but goddamn, he's got the team believing. And as long as everybody inside that locker room believes, it doesn't matter. And I don't think Joe Klatt was belittling the team, but he said this is a legit, that people are excited. I mean, they're really excited. I mean, they ran the field after the game. I mean, he's got some players, Shadur Sanders. He's got some calmness to him. He just seems pretty chill. Like he doesn't get too up, too down, which is good for a quarterback. Yeah, Travis Hunter had 129 snaps against TCU, 125 against Nebraska. Now, are they that good, or is Nebraska that bad? Because I didn't think they looked that good, and Minnesota barely escaped with a win against them. But I guess we're going to see what happens with Nebraska. It's Matt Rule's first year. Got to give him a year. He doesn't really have a solid quarterback yet. And did I see Chubb Hubbard came in for I think Nebraska as a backup quarterback? That's Brock. I'm sorry, Chubb Purdy. That's Brock's brother got into the game for Nebraska. And Jeremy Bloom, remember the former Olympian wide receiver for Colorado, said, time to lock up Coach Prime for many years to come. Give him TV revenue share, ticket rev share, merch, etc. Give him the full Lionel Messi. All right, okay. Maybe. Well, I'm like, let's take it down a notch, dude. Let's take it down a notch. I mean, come on. But yes, I feel like he definitely changed. He had JC on the side, and I was like, that has to be Jesus Christ on the side of his jacket. He said, God bless. Meanwhile, he has his own at halftime, after doing the interview with Fox, he's talking to his production company. I mean, he's got everything down, man. He's unlike anybody else. I mean, he's running the show and doing everything else too. With him, it's, he is all about exposure is good. And his son is a hell of a player, man. So Hayden Hurst just scored a touchdown. Bryce Young's first NFL touchdown pass. Coach is hugging him. I got Bryce Young as my backup this week. Yeah, I like Bryce Young. Guy can play. A lot of good games so far, man. A lot of good games. Iowa, 2013 over Iowa State. 6th straight win in the series. Ferentz got his 200th win, but so they are averaging under 25 points a game, and his son, Brian, could be out of a job. They have to average 25 points a game this season. J.D. McCarthy, listen to this season, 8 incompletions, 6 20-plus yard passes, 5 touchdowns, all to Roman Wilson, who, I mean, he was 22 of 25 yesterday, J.D. McCarthy, and Roman Wilson had 4 catches, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tyler Van Dyke, 5 touchdown passes. Rashard Smith returned a kickoff, 98 yards. And Miami, 48-33. Last year they lost 17-9 to Texas A&M. And And Reddit College Football put it was great. They said all they have is a natty winning coach, Jimbo Smith, Jimbo. What's Jimbo? Not Jimbo Smith. Jimbo. Yeah, why am I saying Jimbo Smith? I write Jimbo and I write Humbo. I love Jimbo Fisher. So you have natty winning coach FSU, Jimbo. Goddamn, Jimbo Fisher. And then Reddit, they have the funniest thing. So they said, hand-picked coaches, some of the best recruiting class of all time, and everything else he's asked for. How are they supposed to win with that? And they put a picture up. Texas A&M boosters having been spotted going door to door, asking literally anyone to help pitch in to buy out their football coaches. Hey, Jimbo Fisher, man. I hope they have a shitty ass season. I really do. I hope they suck it up. I'd like Pittsburgh to get their asses kicked. I'd like to see that. I don't know. Tomlin looks pissed off. And Kenny Pickett was supposed to blow it up. But Brock Purdy, did they call, was he the ball or something? Yeah, it's J.J. Watt. It's not J.J. Watt. It's T.J. Watt. And Purdy were fighting over the ball. I think you're going to lose that battle with Watt. An All-American safety for Miami, Cam Kitchens, was taken to a hospital, but head coach Mario Cristobal reports positive updates. Ducks won. How about D2 Colorado Mesa bumps off San Diego in overtime, 28-20. Remember San Diego? Half of the team was suspended for hazing-related discipline. So Mesa, first game of the season, 1-0, and San Diego 0-2. Joe Milton said, not at all frustrating. The defense is continuing doing everything possible to take away those deep vertical sideline shots that Tennessee loves. He said, hey, give him the ball to that three-headed monster in the backfield and take the win. Fine. Wes Rucker. Tulane lost. Michael Pratt got hurt last week late in the game against South Alabama, so he didn't goddamn start. They lost 37-20 at home to Ole Miss. I was pissed. God damn, I'm watching the game and like, where's Michael Pratt? So he was out. So Kai Horton, a redshirt sophomore, came in, and he started. And it was 2017 in the fourth quarter, and then they got a couple late touchdown, Mississippi. But Judkins, the freshman phenom out of Ole Miss, I think he only had 40 yards rushing in the game. So they neutralized him, but it wasn't enough. Kyle Monagai had 165 rushing yards, a career high for Rutgers, and a touchdown, 36-7. E.J. Warner, Kurt's son, 20 of 44, 230, a touchdown and 2 interceptions. And Gavin Wimsatt had 199 yards of passing. They're 2-0. 2-0, man. Congrats to them. FIU beat UNT 46-39, 1,058 yards and 85 points. Crazy. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, so, yeah. And Wisconsin lost to Washington State 31-22. Luke Fickell, never easy. You're not in the American Athletic. You're not Cincinnati anymore. So they got the loss there. I thought I was like, damn. Yeah, I was rooting for Arizona. But, hey, Big S, I'm sorry, man. You win some, you lose some. Now, Ray Davis of Kentucky made a decisive catch in the 28-17 win. Caught a touchdown pass from quarterback Devin Leary. They beat Eastern Kentucky. And on the SEC broadcast, Peter Sousa gave a spiel. He said, there's Ray Davis, 51 yards on that drive alone, running and receiving. 9 months ago, when he jumped to the portal, everyone wanted him. 11 years ago, as a foster kid, really nobody wanted him. And now he is, found some love, found football, and he has had an amazing journey. So people get upset, but those were actually words that he was featured in a column by Darryl Bird of the Cat's Paws. He said he tried family members and friends to take him in 11 years ago. Yeah, I mean, wow. He was a standout 2022 at Vanderbilt, ran for over 1,000 yards, 52 yards against Eastern Kentucky, and 3 catches, 36 yards, a touchdown. Kentucky's 2-0. But, at first I thought, oh, man, this guy's bashing him. But he's just repeating what he said. Imagine that kid in foster family, nobody took him in, and, just believed in himself. And that's a kid, you're like, God damn. I mean, you have no family. You're on your own. You're a little kid. And then he, becomes a star, goes to Vanderbilt, doesn't want to be, comes to Kentucky. I'm rooting for you, dude. Rooting hard for you. Gators beat McNeese State 49-7. They get Tennessee at the Swamp next week. That is sweet. Tennessee at the Swamp. Rice was up 27 on Houston, won 43-41. JT Daniels, 400 yards, three touchdowns, and interception. Luke McCaffrey, Christian's brother, 7 catches, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Caleb Williams, man, listen, great player. Yeah. 300 yards, 4 total touchdowns. Earlier this week, he said he wants to win 8 Super Bowls once he's in the NFL. Can we stop that? Thank you, NFL Rookie Watch. But really, you know what? 8 Super Bowl titles. Can you get to the NFL? Can you play one goddamn game? You know, I'm okay with everybody. Oh, I want to be the next. There's one Tom Brady. That's a generational guy. You're not going to see another one like him. I mean, look at how well Mahomes is playing. And he's got, what, 2 rings? Wait, 2 rings? I mean, come on. Let's slow a roll, guys. Really? I mean, he's won 3 Super Bowls. He's won 2. I mean, more power to him. I mean, gotta love it. But 8 Super Bowls, take it down a notch, Caleb. And I've watched you play. You're amazing. Mel Tucker is being the subject of a sexual harassment investigation that he sexually harassed activist and rape survivor Brenda Tracy. He's accused of making sexual comments and masturbating on a phone call without her consent. She's a rape survivor who's made educating athletes about sexual violence her life's work. So over 8 months, they developed a professional relationship. Oh, but on April 28, 2022, Tracy says that the complaint she filed with the university's Title IX office in December that remains under investigation. She sat frozen for several moments. Tucker made sexual comments about her and masturbated. His violations, he said, reopened 25-year-old wounds from a rape by 4 men, 3 college football players, and a high school recruit. I think that was out in Oregon State. She said the idea that someone could know me and say they understand my trauma, but then re-inflict that trauma on me is so disgusting to me, it's hard for me to even wrap my mind around it. She told USA Today, it's like he sought me out just to betray me. So he admitted masturbating, but said it was consensual phone sex. He said, Miss Tracy's distortion of a mutually consensual and intimate relationship and allegations of sexual exploitation has really affected me. He wrote in a letter March 22nd, I'm not proud of my judgment, and I'm having difficulty forgiving myself for getting into the situation, but I did not engage in misconduct by any definition. Dude, what are you doing with a woman who is a victim, who, first of all, sexual assault advocacy? She was raped by 3 football players and a recruit when she was, I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, what the 25 years ago, and then to think, okay, you know, I'm gonna masturbate with this woman on the phone. Dude, what are you doing? This is a guy who signed a 10-year, $95 million contract in 2021, one of the highest paid coaches, but there's in his contract, they can fire him with cause if the coach engaged in any conduct which constitute moral turpitude or which the university's regional judgment would tend to bring public disrespect, contempt, or ridicule. They're 2-0, they won 45-14 over Richmond. But dude, what the fuck? What the fuck? You know your job is like, I don't know, did they go consensual with a woman who's how is that consensual? I just was like, I don't even know how to respond to that. I'm just like, you're given the golden ticket and you still fuck it up. It doesn't make sense to me. People are loco, right? People are just crazy. People are crazy. I'm just like, wow. I'm just like, blows my mind. Blows my mind. Yeah, I didn't even know what to say. I saw that and I was like, they can't be. Did he really do that? He really did? Wow. Mel Tucker, man. I think your days are numbered. I think that contract's going to get ripped up. Antonio Gates Jr. is on the Michigan State team. He had a 45-yard touchdown pass. UCF beat Boise State on the road. Congrats to them. It's always hard to win. First home opener loss since 2001 for Boise State. First 0-2 record since 2005. And why are people getting all upset about, FSU? What do you expect? They won 66-13 over Southern Miss. And I agree. Stop complaining, man. They beating 2 teams by 111-37. You blew out LSU and you won 6, and people are complaining. Good God. I mean, the team is playing. Wow. Gleason's at the game. Whew. Wow. To see Gleason, ALS survivor. So he's one of the honorary captains today. And Shaw, the former player for the Titans, he also is ALS. It's amazing. It's amazing what they're doing, but that disease is, God bless him. I mean, that's just, wow. Saw that, I was like, yeah. And I love play like a Jet. He said, just checked with Roger Goodell. Per NFL bylaws, once Mike Evans called Quinnen Williams fat, Bucks became obligated to trade Evans to Jets as restitution for the insults. I don't make the rules because they're not giving Mike Evans new contract before the season starts. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, and they said he could be traded. They said that Jonathan Taylor, the Dolphins still have interest in him. T. Higgins could get, they're talking about he could get traded, or if they don't franchise tag, he might get a boatload of picks. So we're going to see what happens there. Mark Andrews was out for the Ravens. OBJ did his Ray Lewis impersonation. Dude, just play football. Stop. Yeah. Brian Burns, no deal, but he's expected to play today for Carolina. And what did I see that Kenny McIntosh put on the IR for the Seahawks, and Artie Burns, the cornerback, and linebacker John Rodigan were elevated on the practice squad. They're playing the Rams. Oh, and Favre on Russell Wilson, which I'm cool with this. He said there's a reason why Seattle got rid of Russ or parted ways with him. It's not that his play has declined. He's still got a lot left in the tank. Doesn't mean it will materialize, but there's a reason they parted ways. As much good as he's done, maybe he's preoccupied with other things. If he's preoccupied with his brand during football season, that's hurting everyone else. Yeah, I think he still is. And they said, oh, he lost 15 pounds. It's the greatest shape of his life, and he's going to have a great season. Bullshit. Russell Wilson, no. I mean, I feel Russell Wilson, some of these guys get crazy with the brand. Listen, Dion can do all this stuff. I think Dion, that's the way he works, but a lot of people, you can't do that. I feel like, the brand can come, but you got to win to get the brand. I mean, Brady with his TB12, but he focused on football all the time. He was football all the time. The brand was out there, but football all the time. And, backed it up with winning, whereas Russell Wilson, no, not as much. Well, I thought there was interference right there against Addison, but they did not call it. Rashad Penny, a healthy scratch, man. I like him. From first-round pick, yeah, healthy scratch against the Pats. Guess they feel they don't need him. Toronto clinched the first playoff spot in the CFL. Congrats. They beat the Alouettes 39-10. They're 10-1. The Alouettes are 6-6. Congrats to them. And then I watched this fight, Cap versus Dos Santos. That was the fight before, 2 fights before the Adesanya Strickland fight. So Cap ended up beating Dos Santos, which was an upset. And then afterwards, some guy was in the crowd who was giving like a cut the throat to him, and he said that all his training partners are a bunch of, and he called them faggots and everything. And I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. I was like, really? I mean, that's who you want. And this guy Cap was like, he won the fight. I'm like, a lot of people don't want to fight him. Well, he said, fuck him and all this. And then I was like, dude, you can't say that shit. And you know what? Good God. I was like, dude, shut your mouth, man. You're crazy. Severino, he felt he got shot. He's done for the season. A high-grade left one oblique strain. So he's done. And they brought up, so Ron Marinaccio was called up from AAA. And Lakers sent me this. So yesterday they had the Q&A for the Old Timers Day, which is bullshit. And David Wells slammed Major League Baseball. He actually put tape over the Nike thing. He said if they had that when he played, he would cut a hole in the jersey and wear it on the field like that rather than display a Nike logo. I hate Nike. He said they're woke. He referred to Bud Light, with influencer Dylan Mulvaney, and he said he won't drink Bud Light again. Okay, good for you, buddy. Then he said, they honored the 1998 Yankees, 114 games, then an American League record and won the World Series, pitched 21 years, defended Cashman. So he said it always seems the GM, the managers, and all of them that are getting fired and getting blamed for it, and it's the players. If you're not doing the job out of the field, and if I was GM, I would start sending a message. He said players today are too soft. He said, I don't care who it was. If he was in the stink hole, part of my French, well, that was part of my French. If you can say that now, I don't know, but send that son of a gun to AAA or AA and send him a wake-up call. They did it to me. They did it to a lot of us back in the day. And he said that he got into a fight with Jorge Posada. Posada slammed against a pillar in the home clubhouse following a poor pitching performance. He said, got in my face. He said, Posada, and I respected it. He was like, you gave up. He said, that pissed me off because I never gave up. He said, you just get your ass kicked once in a while. I don't know. He said Cashman's taking a lot of heat. Wants to return 90 styles of baseball. He said analytics. They tell players certain things. To me personally, it's ruining the game because these guys don't have free will. That's a big thing they say these days. Free will to be themselves and go out there and find their own identity. No, they don't. A lot of guys, they don't let them come up. If they start slumping, they're down. But I think some players, they have to. I think, yeah, they could do some stuff. Our game plan was go out there and win. The best 9 guys are going to play, which should be. He said once George Steinberg came to the clubhouse to call it his poor performance, and he said he was offended. He didn't like it. Well, if you didn't like it, but he said it was what I needed. I was like, okay, dude, but you didn't like it. You know what? He's entitled to his opinion. I remember I was talking to Lanker. He was hungover when he pitched that perfect game. His mother was a Hell's Angel, was family of bikers and all the Hell's Angels. He said you need a fire lit under your butt sometimes. They don't do that and it sucks. Yeah, but you didn't like it when Steinbrenner did it to you. I feel like some of these guys are like, they just talk too much. And, yes, I think the players are softer now. They coddle them, all that stuff. I agree with them. But, yeah, he's entitled to his opinion. Everything's woke now. Everything's woke. Well, we're trying to change the world. We're trying to be more inclusive. Why is that woke? Everybody should have opportunities for stuff. You have 14 black quarterbacks starting week 1 in NFL. That's a good thing. Now I'd like to see that, coaches. It'd be nice to have 14 NFL coaches that are black. You don't have that many. What do you have, 4? 5? I got to look it up again. But it's definitely a minority in the league right now. I'll tell you, Jags are playing well. Colts, another turnover on a catch. Got to hold on to the goddamn ball. They're playing in Washington. I guess Arizona missed an extra point. Sam Howell, he just got sacked. Yep. Yeah, so that's 7-6 Commanders. Still early. Oh, and Sixers was only up 20-0 on the Steelers. It's like Brock Purdy didn't miss any time. And I think Ayuk has 2 touchdown catches. I wish I had him. He's having a day. I guarantee the guy I'm going against is Ayuk today. And the Phillies beat the Marlins. How about the Kyle Schwarber? 42 home runs. He threw in a home run yesterday. 93 RBIs, a 196 batting average. They have a 3-game lead over the Cubs for number 1 wild card with 21 to play. They're 78-63. Miami 73-69. How about the Rangers have lost 16 of the last 20 games? 16 of the last 20. Toronto, Kevin Gausman, 8 innings of 1 run, 10 strikeout ball, 5-1 over KC yesterday. They are 79-63. KC is 44-99. Deshaun Watson sucks. I'll tell you, they paid him a shitload of money, and I don't see anything there, man. That ball dropped. That ball skipped. Yeah. Man, McCaffrey can run. Jesus Christ. McCaffrey's like a ballet dancer. And the Andrew Jones 25 jersey was retired yesterday by the Braves. Orioles 90 wins, 141 games, fewest in 79 when they did it in 136. They have 7 straight wins, 13-12 over Boston. First 90-win season since 2014. And George Kirby regrets 1 pitch Friday night. He gave up a score-tying 2-run homer to Tampa Bay's Rene Pinto in the 7th inning on a 102nd and final pitch. I wish I wasn't out there for the 7th inning, to be honest. I was at 90 pitches. I didn't think I really could go anymore. But it is what it is. The Rays went 7-4. He ended no decision. He said, that's not me. Skip's always got to pry the ball out of my hands. Well, you said it, dude. Skip, that's not who I am. We all know George is very fiery. Yeah, well, you kind of thought you did enough right there. All right. People make mistakes, right? I mean, they do stuff. They make mistakes. And you shouldn't always want the ball. The competitor doesn't want to be ever taken out. Thought he was done at 90 pitches? Yeah. Maybe you should just shut up. Yeah, Liberty unveiled their Commissioner Cup's banner before the game today. They also handed a giant check in both sizes and money to Callan Lorde with its terrific play. New York raised $35,500 for the organization that provides sensitive quality health care to New York's LGBTQ plus communities. I thought that was nice. So they're playing right now against... They're playing... I love when ESPN doesn't work. And we're going to start all over again. So, because ESPN just says, hey, you know what? We're going to work really slow today. We're not going to do what you wanted to do. We're going to go slow as shit. And we're gonna. Oh man, I just saw a score. They are up. They are down 10 to the Mystics in the third. That sucks. All right. Well, still time left. Let's see if they'll come back. Yankees were starting at 150. It was pouring. There was a flood in Yankee Stadium from the water. It poured. It poured today. Poured. And Benaija Laney got an extension through 2025. She stood on the team for Liberty almost 13 a game. You have extensions for Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, Tyrese Halliburton, Desmond Bain, and Isaiah Stewart. But let me see who hasn't. There's a lot of guys. Patrick Williams, Sadiq Bey, Cole Anthony, Obi Toppin, Josh Green, Killian. Yeah, so we'll see if those guys get anything. Last offseason, so 11 rookie scale extensions inked. Players who don't sign before the start of the season will be eligible to enter restricted free agency next summer. So we'll see. Thank you, Brett Usher. Kevin Knox, the 9th pick of the 2018 draft, played 17 minutes, averaged 9 points a game in 21 games with Portland. He's back with Portland on a one-year deal, made $3 million last year. He's only 20. Think about it. He's 24 years old. He's still got a lot of basketball ahead of him. So we'll see what happens there. Craig Kilborn said A-Rod's getting a relationship with Anthony Edwards because he's the owner of Minnesota. Anthony got comfortable with him and called over A-Rod and asked, how'd you screw up J-Lo? Derrick Rose got married, and Joakim Noah was he married longtime girlfriend Elena Anderson, and Joakim Noah was officiated his ceremony. They were teammates from 2008 to 2016 with the Bulls. Rose won MVP in 2011. Noah winning Defensive Player of the Year 2014. Pretty cool. And Dan Patrick recorded an interview with A-Rod, he said a decade ago. During the show, A-Rod began to criticize Derek Jeter, his longtime foe, in this shortstop's contract. Years later, the conversation very nearly led to blows. He was on Barstool Sports' Part of My Take podcast, and he said, Alex Rodriguez criticized Derek Jeter's contract when he was on my show. And he thought he was off the air with me, but he was criticizing Derek Jeter. Now, I didn't even know that he's mad at me. We do the interview, and then there's a couple years later, we're in Dallas. I said to my guys, we should reach out and see if A-Rod wants to join us on the show. And Alex has a problem with you. I go, okay, well, just come over to the locker room. Waited 15 minutes before A-Rod spoke to him. And they said, went from 0 to 100. I thought he was going to punch me, he said, because he started yelling at me. I said, Alex, it was on the record. You knew it was on the record. I had former MLB pitcher Rob Dibble with me at the time. He said, if he hits me, he goes, I got your back. I'll take him out. That got close to go time, I think, for Alex. You know, Jesus Christ. And that ruined him and Jeter. Yeah, crazy. And then you had the Challenge Cup final, NWSL. Monica Matsukoba, she scored a goal. Carolyn scored a goal. And North Carolina Courage beat Racing Louisville 2-0. And they won the national NWSL's Challenge Cup for the second year in a row. Congrats. 19 years old. Youngest player to start and score in a Challenge Cup final. And she was MVP. I said, that's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. See if I missed anything today. Yes, on the YouTube. He's on the YouTube. All right, he's here, but I don't see him. I guess he's been quiet today. Oh, good afternoon. Good afternoon, YouTube. Yeah, I was live during football, but it's hard to talk about it. You're watching and people, it's kind of hard, Josh, so we'll see what happens. Yeah. Yes. Yes, we shall see. But yeah, it's hard to do because if I'm watching Red Zone, people don't know what I'm talking about, and Michigan hates that. Michigan can't stand it. She said it's for ADD people. I said, yeah, of course it's for ADD people. Josh is on YouTube. Yeah, live look. I'm thinking I'm back. What Hal sent me? What is this? College football fans. People keep asking if I'm back. I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah. I'm thinking I'm back. He's happy. If he's happy, I'm happy. Yes. I'm very happy. Wait, Dominguez was scratched with right elbow inflammation. 4 wins in 7 games. He already has right elbow inflammation. Oh my God. IKF is good. Talk about shit. Good God. Mets lost yesterday. Yankees lost yesterday. But Alonso hit another home run, 43rd home run of the season. So, oh, college football polls out. Let's see. In the way too early college football rankings. Okay, let's see. Texas is at number 5. Colorado up 4 spots. So it's Georgia, Michigan, Florida State, Texas, SC, the dump at 6, Penn State 7, Washington 8, Notre Dame 9, Bama 10 from 3. Then Tennessee, Utah, Oregon, LSU, Kansas State. I don't know who 16 is. Ole Miss, Colorado 18, UNC 20. Yeah, I can't read this stuff. Full ranking, why can't I gotta look at this AP poll because it's bothering me. AP poll, I don't know who the teams are. I don't know some of their AP poll. Yeah. Oh, Oregon State. Yes, okay. Okay. Yes, okay. So the Beavers, 6 consecutive games. So you got the USC 5, Oregon 8, Utah 12. So Oregon State is 16 AP top 25. Listen to this: USC 5, Washington 8, Utah 12, Oregon 13, Colorado 18, Washington State 23, UCLA 24. Wow. The coaches poll 7 Pac-12 teams: USC, Washington, Utah, Oregon, Colorado, UCLA, Washington State. But it got was just missed the top 25. Was the school with the most, all others receiving vote. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, wow. Yeah, why am I not getting Texas Jump, Colorado Falls? Okay, so it's Georgia, Michigan, Florida State, Ohio State, USC, Texas, Penn State, Washington, Tennessee, Alabama, Notre Dame, Utah, Oregon, LSU, Kansas State, Oklahoma, Oregon, North Carolina. Colorado's 21. So Oklahoma is 16. Oh, then it's Miami's 23rd, Iowa 24, UCLA 25. All right. Good things happening. All right. Yeah, that's not good about Jason Dominguez. Oh, my God. Yeah. Wow. Mike Evans had another touchdown. Jesus, Mike Evans. Awesome. Went to Ball High School. Same one as Dom at Ball High. Ball High, getting it done. All right. You know what? Josh, you want to talk about anything? Does Josh want to talk about any football? All right, what about Jets Giants? What about some predictions? All right, I'm going to go Giants and Jets in the games. I think, let's see what happens, see if they get it done. And there was just a fumble in the Washington. Sam Howell fumbled the ball, went to the end zone, and now they are losing to Arizona, which everybody thinks is going to get the number 1 pick of the draft. So I want to see this play again. Yeah, Sam Howell had a rough game. I don't know what the fuck he did. Oh, we're flipping over to the game. So Cleveland's up 3-0 on Cincinnati. They've won 8 of the last 10 against Cincinnati. God damn it. Amari Cooper, nice catch. And, yeah. It's early. Well, it's almost a half. And they're being shut out, Cincinnati. And Cincinnati's everybody's pick to win it all this year. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens going forward. Oh, and I saw this. What I see. Oh, Angels could deal Mike Trout if he decides to ask out USA Today. I mean, we'll see if that really happens. Yeah. If he asks out. That's a big if. Yeah. OBJ. Enough for OBJ. Have to play some football games. And Tom Brady's exact retirement spot saying, Yankee about eBay for $4.89. So I guess it's not as big. And OBJ was rocking a Deion Sanders shirt. Yeah. Congrats to him. It was good we did the race today. Look, I got a babushka on my hair. Head pouring. Walking home. Soaked. Yeah, and look at Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow looks like he should be in an episode of Miami Vice. Look at him. So classy. He's so classy. Did I miss anything else? Yeah, Jets called for Matthew Stafford. Jonathan Taylor could be ready to play week 5. We'll see if that happens. Yeah, time will tell on that front. Kirk Cousins, $231 million, of which 99.09% has been guaranteed. $229 million of his money he's made has been guaranteed, and he's up for another payday. God bless him. Oh, and a Charter offering Spectrum customers Fubo TV free trial. How about ESPN back? Who cares about Fubo? Really? Come on, guys. Ridiculous. And you know if he coached Barry Odom and J.J. McCarthy. Unfortunately, just like I thought. Really good. Thank you, Chris Ballas, for that. And Brendan Armstrong for NC State. I said I performed like crap, right? Yeah, they were winning. They got blown out by Notre Dame. Yeah, so and that was ugly. That was ugly. Yeah, it was a lot of fun today. We had a nice time. We really did. Yeah, I love Deion Sanders' bodyguard. Fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out. Yeah. Yeah, you'll find out all right, buddy. Yeah. You'll find out big time. Bad things will happen. Bad things will happen. Yeah, and I love this. This was him doing the Jordan thing, Drake May. Yeah, pretty cool. And Benjamin, LJ's kid Benjamin, was in Sound of Music first of 3 weekends in Columbia, Maryland. Columbia, South Carolina. I was like, that's pretty cool. Talked to Bill today. Bumbles, I told about the show today. Jay was asking me, what was Jay asking me about? Something. And I was like, dude, Jay was asking me something. Jay asked me something. Oh, so he told me his garage is for college football and his man cave is for NFL. And I said, oh, you have 2 different rooms. Oh, and he's talking about Ben Shelton. He said, I heard the other guy, Ben Shelton, is a cocky son. Yeah, I said, he's real cocky. But he lost, and we'll see what happens. And he will not pay to watch games. He goes, I'm not paying for Peacock and all this other crap to watch games or ESPN Plus. He goes, I'm not doing it. Not happening. Will not happen. Yeah, so everybody was convinced that Arizona was tanking for Caleb Williams, but it was actually Washington all along. That's pretty funny. So Steelers got their first down of the game with 1:16 to play in the first half. Crazy, right? And Alabama is favored by more than 4 touchdowns next Saturday at South Florida, the Tide's first road game against a non-power conference opponent in 20 years. They're going to take it out on South Florida. Big time. Big time. Yeah, I saw some other scores, and I was like, teams that had played well the week before, kind of, because Clemson did not look good against Furman, then blew them out in the second half. But I was looking at some scores. I took some pictures, and I was like, I know some teams that played like shit. Well, NIU beat Northern Illinois, beat BC, and lost to Southern Illinois 14-11 yesterday. So I love how teams, that's why you play. That's why you play to play the games. You have Brian Ferentz. Yeah, they lost. Toledo won. Arkansas beat Kent State. Who else did I see? Portland State gave up 81 to Oregon, but lost 31-17 to Wyoming, who beat Texas Tech in overtime, who lost to Oregon. So I don't know who's the better team. I guess Texas Tech is a pretty good team. Wyoming's really good. Well, but is Wyoming that good if they only put up 31 on Portland State, whereas Portland State gave up 81 to Oregon. So I saw that. I was like, yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, let me get some trivia questions. I realize I'm just rambling now. And I didn't see anything. Did Josh add anything else? And I am sweating profusely. Jets 12-5. No, I was talking about the scores of the games, Josh. So you say Jets 12-5, Giants 9-8. All right. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go Jets. Shit, that's a tough conference. I'm gonna go Jets 11-6, and I'm gonna go the Giants 10-7. All right, 11-6 Jets, 10-7 Giants. I think they both got a shot to win, but 10-0. Last 10 starts against the Giants. Dak Prescott. It's kind of crazy. All right, last show's trivia question was. Brian Branch, first Lions rookie to have a pick six in NFL debut since Len Barney in 1967. Len Barney was the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year in '67, where he had 10 interceptions to lead the league. Two-time All-Pro, two-time AP, made AP first team, seven-time Pro Bowl. He had his number 20 retired NFL Hall of Fame in 1992. And he was the first NFL player with a pick six in his debut since Mike Hughes in 2018, who was started at UNC, then went to UCF, 30th pick in 2018. I think it was the Vikings, and then he's playing for Atlanta this year. Today's trivia question, kind of a trick question. Which is the only Mountain West team to defeat Michigan? Which is the only and I'm talking past and present, which is the only past and present Mountain West team to defeat Michigan? That's today's trivia question. So Josh, thank you for your predictions. Lon, thank you. I know you're going to want to watch your Giants tonight. Everybody enjoy football. Thank you, Bumbles. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Lenker, for all the stuff you always give me. Everybody, send my love to my mom, my dad, Mrs. S, Carol and Carol. Everybody have a really good day. It was great. I talked to Izzy yesterday. It was really nice to talk to Izzy. I haven't spoken in a while. It sounds like that my friend has a boyfriend now. She went to visit in Colorado. RC will remain nameless, but RC supposedly has a man that she finally met in person that she just told me about, which she always does. She's such a crackpot. And Michigan was a lot of fun today. A lot of fun today. All right, everybody have a great day. Peace out. I'll talk to you soon. Adios. Enjoy your NFL. I know I will. Red zone, baby.